Hello, it is Katie at the Fabric Squirrel, and this is George.
Hi.
So George, why are we here today?
Because I'm gonna make a dress for my girlfriend.
For Valentine's Day?
Yeah.
Because you are going to be the most eligible bachelor. I'm bringing you up so that everyone will want to marry you because you can make your wife's dresses. So can you remember the name of the dress that we're making today?
It was something indigo.
Yes. Yeah, it was a Mini Indigo from the Tilly and the Buttons book, which is this book here. And I'm actually wearing, I didn't tell you this bit, this is indigo, but this is like a grown-up version of the indigo dress. So this is what we're making today. These are long sleeves, but what we've decided is to do short sleeves, isn't it?
Yeah.
But we are going to do a ruffle still.
Yeah.
And then we have got enough fabric left over. So we've got quite a bit here. So we thought we might end up adding a ruffle to the bottom to make it a bit longer because she's quite tall, isn't she, Isabel?
Yeah, quite.
So we might end up adding a ruffle to the bottom as well. So what have we already done, George? What jobs have I already given you?
We've already pinned this to the fabric and cut it out.
Before that, you also traced out the pattern, didn't you?
Yeah.
How did you find tracing out the pattern?
Kind of good.
You found it really boring, didn't you?
Yeah, mostly.
So it might end up being how you earn your pocket money because it is the most boring part of the sewing process. So as you get older, I plan on training you up so that's your job. You can earn some pocket money. Right. So we traced out the patterns. We talked about the patterns and where the notches are. We've left all the notches already, haven't we?
Yeah.
We've cut the interfacing out as well. We need to iron those on. So those are our bits to iron. I'm going to put these over here. We need to start pinning some of these bits together. That's the guide for the buttons when we put the buttons on. So I'm going to leave that, might just leave that in here so it's out of the way. And then we are going to start taking the pins off. So put them to one side. Let me go and find my pin pot. Okay, so we're going to read the instructions. That's the front bit and those are the back pieces. Can you see that?
Yeah.
So when we take this off and we open it up, that is the front. And can you see here that this is the back piece?
Yeah.
And it's sewn together at the top. So take the pins off this one. Let's put our used bits over here.
And I'm guessing this is front or back. I have no idea.
So this is the middle.
Mm-hmm.
So we need to pin the shoulder seams together. So that's the shoulder seam there.
Mm-hmm.
We need to do it right sides together, which means the good bit of the fabric needs to be together, okay?
Yeah.
So first of all, do that one and this one. And then I want you to do the other side. So you do this side then.
Yeah.
So we line it up and then put 2 or 3 pins there.
Yeah.
What we'll also do is we'll pin these sides together too.
Okay.
We'll do that on both sides.
So should I do it?
Yep. And the same on that one. Before we sew this, I'm going to take some other bits over that need sewing, okay? So we'll put this to one side.
Yeah.
And we will pin the sleeves together. So let's take these out, leave them to one side. I'm just looking ahead in the instructions to make sure that this is how they're putting the sleeves in. And it is, so we're okay. You remember those notches that we made? And I said it's a bit like a jigsaw.
Mm-hmm.
So we fold it over and match up those lines. Right sides together again. So you need to pin along this edge. You do that side and I'll do this side. So when we are sewing dresses, I know you did them like this when you were pinning your patterns to the fabric, but we want to do it this way around when we are pinning them together to sew. You shouldn't sew over your pins, but if you accidentally left one in, that's not going to cause you any problems. It also is much easier to pull them out because it doesn't matter which way around you sew. It doesn't matter if it's this way or this way. But if you went into your sewing machine and your foot's here and you're sewing down this way and the pin is facing that way, you've got to take it towards the needle. That's annoying. Okay?
Yeah.
So you can do it this way as well. But as long as if your stitch line's that way, then you want your pin to be that way. Okay?
Yep.
Cool. So we've got that. These are our ruffles for the sleeve. Now, let me just work this out. Do we want them? I think so. We don't need them to be too, like these are quite big, aren't they?
Mm-hmm.
But we could do them like this.
Yeah.
What we'll need to do is sew them together on this short edge first. So again, I'll do this side. Fold them right sides together so the short sides meet. So fold it to that side. And then pin these. Let me move these out of the way. Now we're going to pin the front to the back. Now, I don't know how you would know. What's the difference between the front and the back? Or is it literally just that they are... Right, okay, so the shape, I think, of the bodice isn't straight. I think it has a bit of a dip, which is why this side's slightly taller. There isn't really any way of indicating which is the front and which is the back. So I might just, for our memory, grab a pair of scissors and just make a notch, because I know that the one that's got the extra notch is the front. Okay? So take the pins out. We traced this paper from the book, didn't we, the pattern, and this is just regular like tissue paper that I wrap my orders in. So if customers order fabric from me, I wrap it in this paper so they could use it to trace off patterns. I always try and do it in white or like a light colour so it can be used again. Top tip. So we need to pin these together. Do you remember what I always say every time we've pinned so far? What thing have I said? What way round do they get pinned together?
This, like, facing that way or that way?
Yeah, with the pins, but the fabric has to be right sides together. Yeah? Move your elbows. Right, can you line up this side? Good? Yep. Right. You pin that side, I'll do this side. I'll be able to make clothes twice as fast if I get you to help me every time. Now, I have not put pockets in this because the fabric we've used is viscose, and it's quite floaty and it's quite light. And I do think if you were to put pockets in it, it's going to sort of drag the dress down. It probably won't sit very well. That's also why I imagine this will be worn with leggings. So you'll be able to see the pockets from the other side. Maybe put that one in there for good luck.
Yeah.
Okay, so I am going to do the ironing. And I've ironed the interfacing on one of these and not the other. So this is the one we've interfaced and this is the one I haven't done yet. Tell me what the difference is, because you have never heard of the word of interfacing before today.
No, not really.
So how does this feel different to this?
Well, this is more like harder, and this one's quite smooth.
Yeah. So this is for the neckline. That's going to mean, because it's harder, that it's helping this. This is the neckline here.
Yeah.
Right. So if I'll show you what bit this is on this dress. Look, it's this. So it means it hides the raw edges of your neckline, and because it's a bit stiffer, it means it sits nice and flat.
Okay.
So that is what the interfacing is. Okay? Right, I'll go and iron this and then we'll be ready to sew. Right, safety first. What are you definitely not going to do? Where are you not going to put your hands?
Here.
Yeah. Never put your hands in front of it because we don't want you to sew over your fingers. We don't have a guard on because you're quite good at this. You've done this before, haven't you? I've got the walking foot on because I just leave that on all the time because I do a lot of quilting. We've got viscose. It can be a bit slippy, so it will be quite good to have the walking foot on anyway. It is bigger as well, so you're less likely to get your fingers stuck under it. So we're going to leave the walking foot on. I think we will start with an easy bit, which is always going to be the skirt because it's going to be one long straight line. We're going to have our pins at the ready. So what I always do, George, is I have just a random scrap bit of fabric, and this is what I start with. So it'll help you get started and make sure that your stitching looks okay. So lower the foot. You remember where the lever is? Are you comfortable, first of all? Are you at the right height and stuff? You're in the middle of the sewing machine.
Yes.
We're going to turn this down here because that's the stitch length, and we're going to do it to about 2.9.
Right there.
Keep going. Keep going. 2.9. Yep. Okay. So now in fact, before we do that, I'm going to turn the speed down.
Yeah.
We've turned the speed down. So now put your foot down.
Yep.
This is a good one fabric to practice with as well because you can see it's a straight line. Keep going until it's all the way off the edge. Right, that's not straight though, is it? So keep both hands either side.
Yep.
We're going to make sure it stays straight next time. And what we'll do is we'll lift the foot up, swizzle it all the way around. 180 degrees. You've been doing degrees today, haven't you? Put your foot back down. And maybe we'll use this as a practice. So we can see that our stitch line is okay. What we want to do is we want to keep that line in line with this white line here.
Okay, so go.
Yeah. Stop. You see how it's puckered up a little bit there?
Yeah.
We want to relax. We don't want to gather the fabric up like this. We need the job of your hands is to keep the fabric like nice and straight, okay? So there's a lot of things to think about. That's it. Go. That's loads better. Yep, perfect.
No.
So leave that there. We're going to just stick this underneath.
Yep.
Now, I'll double check actually the seam allowance. 3/8 seam allowance. Okay, good job I checked. Right, so the seam allowance is this number here. So could you see it's this 3/8? That is the line that we need to keep it up to. But what that is more or less the edge of this foot. So your job is to keep the edge of this foot next to the edge of this fabric. And don't want to go over any pins, so we'll take that one off to start with.
Yep.
Now put your foot down slowly on your actual foot. That's it. Now stop. I think I'm going to slow this down a little bit until you've got like the hang of it again.
Yeah.
We're going to take the pins out as we go, because if you go over the pins, sometimes it's okay, but eventually it's going to blunt your needle, and occasionally it can snap your needle, and you don't want a needle in the eye. That would be really bad. Are you okay? Are you not comfortable? You need to sit straight, or you're just being a fidget. Better?
Yep.
Yeah? Okay, go. Is that too slow now? Is your foot all the way to the ground?
Mhm.
Okay, shall I speed it up a little bit?
Yeah, a bit.
It's better to start slow and gain your confidence and get your accuracy before you go too fast. Yep, perfect. Pin pot's here. Would it be easier if the pin pot was there?
Yeah.
Okay. When we get just near the end, keep going a little bit more. So when you get to about here, what I want you to do is hold this button down here, hold it down, and then put your foot down. So you have to hold it and put your foot down at the same time. That's going to go backwards, then let go, and then go all the way off the edge.
Oh.
So off the edge. Keep going. So it's a good habit to get into, to double stick, like go backwards on the beginning and the end of all your stitches, because it means it's less likely to come undone.
Yeah.
We need to do the other side of the skirt now, so you may as well just line this up, put your foot down, and then it should just take it. Stop. That's it. Let's do what we just said. I'll hold it down. You press the foot down. And then keep going. Do you think you could handle a little bit faster? Or are you happy with this speed?
I'm happy with this speed.
Okay, cool. Right, we've done all the sewing that we have pinned. How was that?
Good.
Liked it?
Yep.
Yep, you did a really good job. We just had that little practice, didn't we, at the beginning?
Yeah.
And you're away. Right, we chain stitched it, so it now looks like we've got like a massive string of
Bunching.
Yeah. So you've got the scissors. Let's snip all these bits. So that was the bit we used to start it off. Can you remember what part of the dress this was?
No.
This big bit here? What do you think that bit is?
The dress.
Yeah, the skirt.
Yeah.
And then these were our ruffles, sleeves. This is the facing for the neckline. And then this is the bodice. What we need to do next is we need to overlock, one more, all these raw edges. Do you know what an overlocker is?
No.
It's that other sewing machine that I've got, and it's got 4 threads, and it gives the inside of your dresses, I didn't overlock this one, so I can't show you an example, but it gives the seams a really nice finish, nice and neat, and it will stop it from fraying, because you kept asking about what do we do about these threads here, so that's going to stop that. But this overlocker here has also got a blade on it, and I can't control the speed of the overlocker. So I'm going to do that bit, because the most annoying thing, and I have done it, that you can do on an overlocker is when you accidentally get some fabric caught and then you end up slicing a big hole out of something. Because if you do that in a normal sewing machine where you accidentally sew something together, you can just unpick it. But on the overlocker, it's dead, gone, sliced. And like I say, you can't control the speed, and it goes super fast. You have to use your foot to control the speed. So I'll do that bit, and unfortunately it's your bedtime.
Ah.
So we'll have to resume this another day, hopefully before Valentine's Day. Yeah, are you enjoying it?
Yep.
We have nearly got a dress. Should I show you what we've got left to do?
Yeah. You probably sew everything together and do the thing.
So once I've done the edges, we need to gather this top bit. So we'll put some really long stitches in, and then that will make it scrunched up. We need to then, where is it? Well, we need to pin so we'll do this next stuff, like the next thing we'll do. We need to pin this together and fold it over, and that's already going to look like a top that you can wear then. And then we need to put the sleeves in, and then we need to put this onto the skirt, and then we need to add buttons. That's pretty much done. So it won't take very long. We'll have one more sewing session, I reckon about another hour and a half.
Yeah.
Okay, cool. We're going to add a gather stitch now. So the first we need is to make sure that this is a long thread, so we need to pull it out a bit more. And then we'll hold that out of the way. It needs to be a little bit closer to the edge than we have been doing. So put the foot down. See where that dot is?
Yep.
We're going to keep that near the edge. And we've put the stitch up to 5, which is the longest it will go. So it'll probably go a bit faster. So have a look. And you notice that the length of the stitch is much longer.
Yeah.
So it's a little bit quicker. Try not to pull it. You don't need to guide it through. You just need to keep it straight. And then the feet underneath will pull it through for you. Especially with this sort of fabric, because it will stretch it. Look, keep your hand moving as well, okay? Because if you keep doing that, your hand stays there, then it starts doing this. Okay. Stop a minute. Because it's a circle, you have to keep pulling this round. So you have to remember to keep adjusting things. Okay, then go again. Don't hold that too tight. And when we get to about here, we're going to stop. Don't scissors. Bit more. Stop. Now, we want to lift the needle up, which is this arrow. Yeah. I'm going to lift the foot up. I'm going to pull it out because we want a long thread. When it has the scissors, it does a short one. There's a little cutting thing there. Okay? Now, this is a tricky bit because we need to make sure these threads are pulled out of the way. Sort that bottom one out afterwards. Put the foot down. We need to do another line of stitching next to this, but do not cross over it, because if you cross over it, you won't be able to gather it. Okay? It's my hair in your face. Sorry. So where we kept that circle near the edge, just keep the actual edge next to the edge this time, the edge of the foot, yeah? And don't cross over. Go. It's all right, you keep going, go to about the same place before. And remember to lift the needle up, not do the scissors. Yep. Needle up, foot up, pull, 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 pull. Then this is the sharp bit, so you just pull it. Ta-da! Then we need to do the same on the back. So you need to do the same on the other side now. Okay, so we've sewn this facing on. So what would happen if we... Oh, actually, that's okay, because we can show where it's gone wrong. You know where I say you've got to keep adjusting the fabric all the time?
Yeah.
Look, can you see what's happened there?
Oh, yeah.
We've got a fold. So now I'm going to have to introduce you to the unpicker, George. Because look, doesn't look good, does it? That's okay. It's not a first sewing session without having to do a bit of unpicking. Here. He'll be your best friend and your worst enemy. Shall I show you how to do it? Stop. Don't just go and poke it without instruction. Right. What we'll do first is, you see where this fold is here?
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm going to put this underneath. And I'm going to do this one first. If you pull it really gently, some of those stitches will come out. I don't want you to poke a hole in it. So I think I'll just do it. So what we'll do you want to do it?
Yeah.
Go on then. Don't make a hole in it though. Hold it like this.
Yeah.
We don't want to go into the fabric. We kind of want to go alongside. So there's less risk of it getting a hole then. And don't stab yourself either. Like, you look like you're going to go into your own wrist then. So just be super careful.
Yeah.
I've stabbed my finger with a really sharp new blade before and it really hurt. Gently. Stop. Daddy, go away! Oh, Daddy's beat my boppet score. Right. You were like pulling at it. If it's not going, you need to stop. The closer you hold it, like the more control you have over it, yeah?
Yeah.
So if you're like pulling it like this, well, that was a bad example. It's no good. Anyway. So as soon as you don't see that creased anymore, you might need to do a little bit this side. Maybe a couple more. Right, there. I'll take that back over to the sewing machine and we'll quickly just do that. Then we'll come back.
Yeah.
Okay, quick fix. But that's why it's worth checking both sides and taking your time.
So are we going to fold it out?
Yeah, so what we do is we'll turn it over. But before we do that, what we're going to do is, see these corners?
Yeah.
We're going to trim them across like this.
Mm-hmm.
We need to go close, but we can't go through the threads.
Yeah.
So you've got to be super careful. So what I'll do is I'll do a diagonal one like that. But then I'll also just go a little bit like this. I'm also going to cut this a little bit thinner. So just trim off this side like this. Make sure the rest of the fabric isn't underneath so you don't accidentally cut into your dress. We'll do that all the way around. But you see where it curves?
Yeah.
We're going to add something called notches.
Mm-hmm.
So we're going to like put little triangles in like this.
Yeah.
Again, make sure you go close, but don't go through the threads because it will leave a hole. But when we turn it round, then that's not going to gather. It's going to sit much nicer. Okay, do you want to have a go at that?
So
maybe do one here. That's it. Really good. So we're going to do one there, maybe another one there, and trim the sides. See how there's fabric all over our house all the time?
Yeah.
Yeah, this is why. It's bits like this. Right, we're going to turn this round now. Do you want to do this bit?
So
we need to push that corner through. See that corner there?
Yep.
Yeah, well, you'll be better at this because you've got little fingers, but you just push that out and then look how pretty that is now.
Oh, yeah. So, same.
Yeah.
Here. I can see it.
It's a bit like when you're making your bed with the sheets.
Yeah. Does it go anymore?
That looks good. Sometimes you can use like a knitting needle or the end of the scissors, or pencil's not ideal, but something pointy to do it. But I think that's all right. So what I'm going to do now is I'll take it over to the iron.
Yep.
And I'm going to press this. Then we're going to do an understitch. Do you know what an understitch is?
No.
Okay. So what we'll do is we're going to do a stitch that's really close to the line, but it's going to stitch this bit onto the facing. And then that is going to make it not roll and it's going to look much neater.
Okay.
So we're going to do that. But while we're here, I thought I'd talk to you about buttons.
Oh, yeah.
because it has buttons at the back, this one. And I've got these buttons. Now you need 5, but I've only got 4 of these buttons. And look how cute they are. Because they're all glittery.
We could do, we might be able to get 4.
Should we see if it works?
Yeah.
So we've got this guide, which it comes with. But, so it would be 1, 2, 3. Ah, hang on a minute. That is 4. Oh, I can't count, George. Okay, well, it's all right then. We've got 4. So we'll leave a mark in a minute. We don't need to do it quite yet. But those are going to look really pretty, aren't they? Because this fabric is quite light and these buttons are really light and delicate. So I think they're perfect. We're going to add the ruffle to the sleeve now.
Yep.
So I've added the gather stitches to these. You did the skirt, didn't you? And I did the ruffle. So we're going to match up this bit here. Put a pin in it. And then, well, that's halfway. We should have a notch somewhere here which says where halfway is on this side, which is about there. Now you're going to see how the gather stitches work.
Yeah.
So there's that one there, that one there. You have to hold them both together.
Yeah.
And then you look, ta-da! So you just need to pull this now until it's the same size, and then we'll even them up. But you can't do it too hard. You've got to be quite gentle because you don't want to snap them. Some people do 3 lines of stitching because it's less likely to snap. Or if you snap one, you've still got 2 left over. But I'm lazy and I always just do 2. Does that look about the right size? Good job, I've made sure that I didn't actually check that I've put it the right way round and that the flamingos are facing the right way, but thankfully they are. Let's put it a tiny bit more. It's a bit fiddly because they're really little arms. Does that look good?
Yep.
So we'll pin those in place. So if I do this side, do you want to have a go at the other side?
Yeah.
Just don't stab yourself on any of those pins that are already in. Let me just get that end of that threads. Okay, see there? Got it?
Yeah.
Keep your fingers close to it because the further away, the less control you've got over it. Just don't hold. That's it. Right, you don't squeeze too much here because you're going to stop it. You kind of need to have your thumb almost on it to like pull it like this. And then you've got to tease it through. You see?
Yeah.
Try it. Remember, keep closer because you're less likely to snap it. This one might take some practice. Okay, I have done the understitch. I think I called it an edge stitch before. It's called an understitch. And look, can you see how much crisper that edge looks now? Does look, can you see the difference? Okay, so that's that. We've also added the ruffles. I did it because we're running out of time, aren't we? Because it's nearly bedtime.
Yeah.
So we need to do 2 things. We need to add the sleeves and we need to make a mark where our buttons and our buttonhole is going to go. And that's what this bit of paper is here. Okay, I've got a pen. So this says water erasable. So that means when it gets wet, it will just wash off. So it doesn't matter that you've drawn on the fabric, okay? We're going to lay this along here. I've poked a little hole in where the circles are.
Yeah.
So that means when I do this, we'll be able to leave a mark on the fabric, okay?
Yeah.
Do you want to do that? I'll hold it straight and you put a mark where the hole is. Put some effort in. keep it straight and go straight down. Yeah?
Yeah.
Next one. Bit more. Yeah, that one. Okay, can we see those? Yep. We're going to do the same now on the other side. Wait, move your arm and make sure it's straight. Okay.
There.
Yep.
There. There.
That one's right on his beak. I think we'll be able to see it. There we go. Okay, I'll have to check in the book of which way round it goes because I'm not sure if it's buttons on top or bottom. This feels like the most natural way round, but I'll have to check. We will do the sleeves while we're here. Put the lid back on. Can you remember about the notches on the sleeves? Do you remember what I said?
No.
So there's one notch there and there's two notches there.
Yeah.
So the one notch is the front and the two
That's
notches the back. We have got two single notches, George. That's annoying, isn't it?
Yeah.
I think it must. I think there's a very slight notch there. I just don't think it's gone through very well. When we've done it, you need to make sure it goes through both sides of the fabric. So what we do is we put the sleeve inside.
Mhm.
Which way is that seam allowance? So it's pushed that way. So we'll make this go opposite. So we always match the seam up first. There is a notch for the middle. Can you see that?
Yep.
So that middle one is going to go here.
Mhm.
George, we're going to put some buttons on now.
Yes.
So I have got you this thingy-majig.
Yep.
So can you see where it says mode 2?
Yep.
These ones here, they are all our options for buttonholes.
Yeah.
So generally, I quite like 026 because it's curved on both sides.
That one looks good.
Do you think so too?
Yeah.
Okay. Press the mode button.
Mode.
Yeah, so see it says mode 2. This was mode 2, wasn't it?
Yeah.
And it was 026.
026.
Yep. It tells you what foot you need there, which is this funny foot here. Okay, so we need a button. Did you get a button? Yeah. So this is super clever. So what we do is we put the button inside here.
Yeah.
Then we tighten it. Then that lets it know how big the button is, so how big the buttonhole needs to be. So this is our foot. So we put that on here like this. Right, and then can you see here?
Yeah.
You see this thingy-majig here?
Mhm.
Can you pull that down really gently? So that's it, let go. Can you see how that's against this bit of plastic here?
Yeah.
That's the guide, so that's going to help us work out and make sure that you know what, I don't even know the technicalities of it, it's just magic, but I know that we need to put that down. I have got some fabric here because you never do a buttonhole straight onto a dress without first just testing it, okay?
Yeah.
So we'll lift it up. I've done a little circle so we can sort of see where it goes in comparison to the circle, yeah?
Uh-huh.
Right. So we've lowered it down and that circle is dead in the middle of that square. Can you see? Can you see inside it?
Yeah.
Right. I'm going to take this out. This is the foot. So we're not going to use the foot for this. You see that big green button that says start, stop?
Mm-hmm.
Press start. Leave it. No, I said leave it.
Okay.
literally does the whole thing for you. So press the scissors. And there is our buttonhole. That's not bad for a first go, is it?
No.
I'm glad we did the practice so that now you know not to press the start stop. So now we'll go and do that on the actual dress.
Okay.
We've done our buttonholes, haven't we?
Yep.
So how do we put our buttons through? How do we put our buttons through? What is the problem we have?
We don't have buttons and that you can't even put them in.
No, it's not an actual hole yet, is it?
Yeah.
So should I show you a trick?
Yeah.
If we put a needle through each end like this.
Yeah.
And then we'll do the same on the other side.
Yeah.
When we go to put a hole in, we're not going to cut through those threads that we've just made with the buttonhole because that needle is in the way to protect it. So we're going to stab it.
And
then really carefully with our seam ripper, just pull a hole. But you can see it will only go up to that needle there, so you can't accidentally like rip all the way through. And that would be really bad.
Yeah.
So that's that.
Yep.
Sorted. All we need to do now is put the skirt on and sew the buttons on and do a hem. I think I'll sew the buttons on for you tonight because it's bedtime, really, isn't it? And I can show you how the skirt will go on, and then I'll show you the finished dress in the morning. But you've done most of it. It's looking so cool. So you'd have probably, ideally, had the buttons on.
Yeah.
To do this bit, but it's not the end of the world. What we're going to do is, by eye, you see where that mark is, and then we did a mark on the other side.
Yeah.
We're going to just match those up. If you were doing a pattern that was really obvious, like big and repeating, you'd probably want to try and make these match. But I don't think it matters with these flamingos. So because we want to show you how to do this before bed, and we've not done the buttons, I'm just going to use pins to put them in place for now. So you know how we gathered those sleeves?
Yeah.
Yeah, we're basically going to do the same again. So we need to do right sides together. And we'll put the top inside the skirt. And then find the edges again. It's all a bit fiddly. So what we do is we find the edge. So we'll do each edge first. Do you remember we left a notch? You know when we cut the fabric out and we had to, where it was folded, we had to leave a notch?
Yeah.
That was the centre notch. That's that little one there. So we're going to make sure that is in the centre here. And then when we gather it, we're going to gather. Do you want to pull? Remember, keep your fingers straight. Pull. That's it. Let's see where we're at. So that's probably about right. But now we need to make those nice and even. So it's like the same amount of gather all the way around.
Yeah.
And then we'll pin that in place. Go do that all the way around the edge. Sew it down. I'll do the overlocker again. And then hem it. And then we've got a dress. George, have you grown? Has it taken so long that you've grown a foot?
No.
Are you on the stool?
Yeah.
Yeah, we should have done the stool from the beginning, haven't we? So, are you ready for the grand reveal? Ta-da! What do you think?
Good.
Do you think she's going to like it?
Yeah, love it.
What's your favourite bit?
I think it's the buttons.
The buttons are cool, aren't they?
Buttons.
Sparkly buttons. They are really good. She's going to love it so much. You know what, George? A girl never forgets the Valentine's Day where her boyfriend made her a dress. She will remember it for the rest of her life. What is your favourite bit about making it?
I like putting the buttons on.
Did you?
Yeah.
just because they were sparkly.
Mostly, yeah.
Yeah, and the buttonholes. That gadget, the buttonhole gadget, was good, wasn't it?
Mhm.
What was your least favourite bit?
I don't know.
There was definitely a bit that you've not enjoyed.
Yeah,
What was it?
I can't remember.
There were a few.
Mm.
Would you like to make something else again, or do you need a bit of a break?
A break.
There is a pattern in that book that we've used that's a jacket. And I thought that might be quite cool. You can make yourself a jacket. So maybe we could put that on. But if you think of something that you want to make, you let me know. But shall I tell you what my favourite bit was? Spending time with you. It was nice, wasn't it? Just to like spend some time. We chatted loads in between, didn't we? And no phones, no tablets. And I thought it was really fun. And I cannot wait to give this to Isabel tomorrow. We're going for a cinema date, aren't we? And some lunch next week. So hopefully it will fit and she will like it and she can wear it on your date. And then me and Isabel's mum are going to sit and have a glass of wine as well and have lunch. Hide somewhere behind the corner. Well, thank you very much for watching. If you've enjoyed doing a sewing lesson, we'll eventually come back to some more sewing lessons, won't it? It'd be nice to teach other people how to teach their kids to sew. So what do people need to do if they like watching?
Like and subscribe.
Thank you.